art, the directors of theaters, they in some cases they don't even understand what mapping is, and but they want to make some special effects in theater, so they want to make the beautiful video, beautiful decorations, and beautiful support to their story. So not all the projects that I would be showing today are really have to do with mapping. Some of them do, some doesn't, but I would speak about special effects in the theater. And I want to say that theater now is really, by my feeling, is really growing strong. The interest to the theater is now reviving. The directors are always trying to put some message inside. I mean, it can be good or bad, it can be interesting, and it can be like, you know, second, something you've seen already, but anyway, there is always a story behind, and they always want to tell a sincere story. And that is what is interesting, because in cinema, for example, the storytelling is now going low, but again, by my point of view. There is a lot of money and there is a lot of production, but sometimes they don't even put anything inside. So that's why it is interesting to work with the theaters, because the budgets are much smaller, but the percentage of message inside is much bigger. A year and a half ago, we decided to make to start to do some mapping stuff as a group, as an art group, not just like separated VJs. And occasionally, immediately at that time, we met with our friend, a director whose name is Philippe Grigorian, and he's a pretty famous, already pretty famous young director who's doing really very interesting, very crazy, and very visually interesting performances. And we just met, and we told him that we started to do some mapping, and probably it can be applied in the theater. And he was immediately, he was totally up to it, and he said, okay, let's experiment. I don't know what you mean, what mapping is, I have no idea, but let's try to do something. And it went out really interesting. So to begin with, it started like after our first meeting, he had to go somewhere, and he was out of reach because he's really busy. I mean, he's going all around Russia and in Europe also. And he invited us all to meet in a virtual space, in the space of Second Life. Probably you know what is it. So it's a virtual 3D space where you can log in, and you're given a 3D doll. You can walk around, speak with other people, interact somehow. And he's really a fan of it. He's really crazy about it, and he said, okay, get all, log in, and we all meet in a special place. I've built a scene, which I want to present you, the setup of the scene, and I've built everything from the 3 blocks in Second Life, and I've built it on purpose, like 100 kilometers over the space of the Earth that nobody else can go. So I teleport you all there, you just log in. That was really funny, because when we all came to Second Life and we saw the scene, first of all, it was a very strange feeling to be like, he appeared in the form of you know, some teapot, the director, and all the other guys I know all came like with strange appearances, with some bugs. He started to show us the places where he wanted the video to go. And that was a very strange but very constructive meeting, after which we understood totally what he wanted us to do, and we started to work. And it was our first theater project, so we had to invent some kind of technology, how to make it. Of course, we could do the videos, the content, but there were 2 tasks at least. So we had to first to map it. To have some software that can map it on the decoration, and the second thing was that it should go. This performance should go like every month 3 times, and we could not participate in each of them. So they could go to the festival. So we had to make some interface for the guys, for the lighting guy, for example, who can easily, without knowing much about how the software works, just use it and map it in the simple manner, and then manipulate the timeline. So switch from one scene to another, and to make the whole performance. We decided to make it on the base of Maximus P patch that was written by our programmer Nets. He made it. It looked a bit like this inside, quite horrible. But finally we managed to build the interface that was really simple. It looked like an Excel table. So there was just a timeline with lines, like the first scene, the second one, the third, and like this. So you just could switch between them, and just go forward, make the performance. So to make good mapping, we had to build a playground. So there was we made a simple geometry to work with, and we made several tests. And there was really a good integration of of video, of light, and of course of the dressing, the dressing design, because the art director, she invented special dresses for performance and for the mapping also. So there was a special skirt that could be mapped. It had several forms, like half circle, full circle, could be opened like this. And here we can see the examples of how it looked in the tests. So at a certain moment the girl came out and opened the skirt halfway, and it was mapped. Then she opened it the full, and it was also mapped. So, and probably I'll show you now the final video, how it looked.
Она по-прежнему сидит в сугробе и держит кольцо. Но перед ней не подъезд, а бесконечный лес, уходящий во все стороны. От страха Агата вскакивает на ноги и начинает озираться. Одежда на Агате немедленно высыхает. Она пробует пошевелить пальцами ног, и, о чудо, они опять могут шевелиться. Агате никогда в жизни не было так хорошо. Ей даже слишком хорошо, чтобы смеяться. Она просто улыбается во весь рот этому удивительному человеку. Она чувствует, что может продолжать игру в ладоши всю жизнь. Она не представляет, как еще минуту назад она мечтала попасть домой. Она даже толком сообразить не может, зачем ей нужно было домой. Рука к руке, ладонь к ладони. Агате кажется, что они играют очень медленно, потому что каждый раз, когда ее ладони соприкасаются с теплыми ладонями человека в шубе, Агата узнает какую-нибудь удивительную историю. И сейчас, когда ее ладони соприкасаются с теплыми ладонями человека в серой мохнатой шубе, происходит прекрасная вещь. Агата, вспоминая все эти истории, как раз и чувствует себя хорошей. Просто, и теперь это становится совершенно очевидным, она умная девочка, ловкая, смелая, не дающая себя в обиду, умеющая найти выход из любой ситуации. Она молодец, Агата!
Okay, this was the movie from the performance, and it went out quite good. I mean, everybody finally was happy. The crew who worked on it, and the people seemed to like the performance itself. And by doing this, we developed this program that now we can use in the theaters, and we started to use more and more. And we have this simple interface that makes it possible to ship it finally to the users that can easily control what's going on stage. The next, I would like to speak about the project that we did for the group of a really huge group of creators who produced the performance called Cops on Fire. It is a very interesting and now very popular project in Moscow because it was made totally on the free initiative of a lot of people. So it was totally uncommercial. We participated in it with no commercial interest because there was no money from the beginning. So when we met the first time, they said that they've got a wonderful project, but they have no money and they are not going to pay anybody. So, but if you're interested, you can participate. And we did some mapping in the project, and we also did just some video stuff. So we collaborated as artists, trying to invent the effects that could be suitable in the project.
Когда я иду на дело и до зубов вооружен, зови меня Чак Норрис, Чарльз Бронсон, Ален Делон. Когда я нападаю и у меня есть план, зови меня Наполеон, Стивен Сигал, Чингис Хан. Мне кажется, я нездоров! Ура! Черный кот, прикрой! Молвить хоть слово в упрек, вышибаю блин клином, искореняя страшное зло самым страшным злом. Честь имею, Покин Рэч мое имя. Отдел особо опасных дел, даже в самых сильных глюках даже не смел прикинуть, кто есть самый главный киллер.
So that were our first theater projects, and the director started to pay attention and interest to how the video technologies can be used in the theater now, and more and more people started to call and to ask us to participate in something, and also commercial work started to appear. So we did this project on the verge of commercial stuff because it was already for money, but still they had a story inside. It was a presentation of Van Cleef watches, but they wanted to make it a romantic story for the story in the design of their most successful watches. So we tried for this project, we tried to work with Catalyst, and it worked pretty well. The keystone in the Catalyst and our photo. We made the photos of the setup, so we made the video, and then Catalyst helped us to just to wrap it in right place. Our next project was dedicated to the anniversary of the victory in the Second World War, and there was really an experimental project because. Normally, of course, we celebrate this Victory Day, the 9th of May. It's a big holiday in Russia, but mostly everything you can see on TV or in the city is a very old-fashioned stuff. It hasn't changed for like 40, 50 years. It is always the same. The soldiers, the flowers, the ribbons, and it was really interesting when one of the modern directors, Kirill Serebnikov, invited us to make something really different. So he wanted not to say thanks for the participants of war, but he wanted to remind everybody that war is actually a fucking nightmare. It is really a horrible thing, and so we came there as VJs. So the setup was the rear screen. And in front there was a film, not a film, a net, semi-transparent, so you could project on the front on the net, and there was a projection from the rear, so it was, and the music was written especially by Alexei Sumak, a good composer who wrote. The music is a requiem of Mozart, but totally remade by him in a modern way, and it looks very, very modern. And the sounds and the construction of the composition of the music is very complicated. So we had to VJ, with no beat, of course, and with just to feel the emotional side of the music. And to try to express the idea of the director.
Огнец шестой, а без ножен пред судья. Soldaten. Damit rettet ihr in einen Karten und verhandelt durch schweren Kampf ein. Deutsches Volk, gib uns 4 Jahre Zeit, dann richte und urteile über uns. Dann ich tat es nicht um Gehalt, ich tat es Lohn, ich tat es deiner selbst wegen. Möge uns allen in diesem Kampf der Herrgott helfen.
So the next project I would like you to tell about is a project which is called the day schedule. It was commissioned by Eduard Bykov, a famous producer in Moscow. That was a commercial project already, but still it is also an art project, because that was the concert of the orchestra of Pekarsky. A very interesting composition, which is called like this, the day schedule, and it was written by Martynov, also an experimental musician, composer, who made really wonderful music, and they wanted to support it with the video somehow. And when we started to think what could be the VJing for this type of, it is also, you know, classical music with very intuitive rhythm, and not so easy to break in with you know, with the proper visual rhythm. So we finally made up a story of one day from the life of you know, political man, a guy who works in you know, in the government somehow, and this is his schedule from the beginning, from the time he wakes up and till the time he goes to bed. But he doesn't go to bed, because in the end, finally, there is a story that happens, and his son that he ignored gets to the hospital because of drugs. That's what our business is all about, because everything is really developing so fast that we are trying different technologies, we are keeping track of what's going on, and so trying different stuff to finally make optimal decisions for exact setups.